All right, coming up next, it's a women's bantamweight matchup between Cris Cyborg and Ronda Rousey. All right, so here's the all-time great, the UFC Hall of Famer, Ronda Rousey. Of course, she took part in the first women's fight in UFC history back at UFC 157, went on to fame and fortune, her legacy as well established as any woman in the game.
I met Ronda Rousey back at the Olympics in 2008. As a young girl, became an Olympic bronze medalist. That was unheard of for someone to do that. And she took that star power and that ability to grapple and applied it right to a mixed martial arts career, where she not only captured the UFC title, but also defended it on a number of occasions with her patented armbar. Every time Ronda fought, people tuned in, they loved it, it was always exciting.
And some wondered if she would ever make this walk again. Well, here is Ronda Rousey back in this arena, and if her pre-fight talk is any indication, she's got a point to prove here tonight. All right, here's one of the best to ever do it. Cris Cyborg, the former UFC women's featherweight champion, and her focus is entirely on getting that belt back. Tonight figures to be another step in that direction.
I've never seen anyone more dominant, regardless of men, women. Cris Cyborg had an ability to make people just quit. The power, the aggressiveness, the ability to get in your face, make you work and make you uncomfortable is second to none. She is such a dominant physical presence that most people are beaten before they even step in the octagon.
She finally stepped into the octagon for the first time in 2016, won 5 consecutive fights, including the world title before running into Amanda Nunes. Cris Cyborg, though, back tonight, and a picture of focus in advance of this one. And here is tonight's tale of the tape. 4 years apart, with similar height and the same reach. All right, now for the particulars, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And when the action begins, a referee in charge of the octagon, Yves Lavigne. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. It's time! 5 rounds in the UFC bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This woman is a judo fighter, holding a professional record of 12 wins, 2 losses. She stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Venice Beach, California, presenting the former UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion of the World, Ronda Rousey! And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This woman is a Muay Thai fighter, holding a professional record of 22 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest. She stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Huntington Beach, California, USA, Christian Cyborg Justino!
Okay, protect yourself at all time, obey my command at all time. If you want to touch left, do it now, go back to your corner. You ready?
All right, so here we go with round 1, and with respect to Amanda Nunes and anybody else, Ronda Rousey versus Cris Cyborg might be the biggest fight in women's MMA.
This is the biggest fight, the absolute biggest fight female mixed martial arts has ever seen. Ronda Rousey, the greatest star of all time across all female divisions, against Cris Cyborg, who is the second biggest star of all time. She hopes to propel herself over Rousey with a massive victory and a massive statement.
Looks like
starting
she's
right
trying
now.
to set up a sub here. might just be a matter of time. Quick, and you knew if she could take this fight to the ground that her opponent was going to be in trouble. So the takedown comes early, and so does the submission win. You know she's got great instincts when it comes to finishing fights. Once she gets them to the canvas, safe to say mission accomplished for her here tonight. So that win by submission figures to silence any remaining doubters, and that certainly puts the rest of the division on notice. Huge result for her here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Eve Levine has called a stop to this contest at 59 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by tap out, Ronda Rousey.
Well, there she is. A lot of people felt like this fight was destined to go the distance. She had other ideas.
She said that if this fight went to the ground, it did not matter how good her opponent is. She was going to submit her. She did exactly that. She feels like she's levels above the rest of the game in the grappling.